John.
Did she work? Did you work?
Did you work outside of the
Oh
home?
no, I never had a chance. I couldn't afford a babysitter, so we didn't make enough money. And I couldn't have gotten a job that was paid well enough to get no.
Okay.
I never worked. I worked in the church nursery was all. I got $3 a Sunday for staying in there during church.
You only had 4, and they weren't in school, so I don't think you had time.
You had 4 kids.
Before school.
Not in school.
That's
Not
right, exactly.
And you didn't kill any of them. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't kill each other.
They didn't kill each
No,
other.
and we were in a 35-foot trailer, but it's all we could afford at the time.
Had a 3-burner stove, and
Cost $10 to park a month.
$10 a month
$10
to
to
park.
park.
I think
See,
I
That
had,
was Wichita Falls.
yeah, I had 2 stripes. I was a corporal.
No, he couldn't have gotten.
Okay.
No, we lived off base because of the kids, and there wasn't any military housing back then.
Oh.
So the
Well, there might have been, but it was for officers or high enlisted.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't 3 stripes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Why
Yeah.
would you give it to someone with 4 kids?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Hey.
We started out in Salina, Kansas. That's where you started.
Went to
Salina.
Wichita Falls.
And then Wichita
Oh,
Falls.
and then went to Amarillo.
And then went to Amarillo, and you left us for a
I went
year.
overseas for a year.
When you came back, we went to Grand Prairie,
Grand Prairie, Texas.
and then we went to Charlotte, North Carolina,
And Charlotte, North Carolina.
and
then to
Raleigh, North Carolina,
And from
Panama
there to Florida.
City, Florida. Then to Enid. That's where Richard was
Back
born.
from
Enid.
Florida to Enid.
He's the only Okie we have.
That's where
The rest
Richard.
are Texans.
That's where Richard was born.
No, Sherry's a Kansan.
She's
She
yeah.
would never admit that now.
No, she's
She's a Texan
Wait.
now.
yeah,
She
she's
is a
been
Texan.
Texan.
And
But she
from
did.
Kansas?
She was just a baby, so she didn't remember it anyway. So then we went to Keesler. Then we went to Guam from there. We spent 5 years there. That's the most we ever spent in one. Then we went to Guam for 2 years. Came back to Wichita Falls again for 2 years and retired.
Well,
A lot of people didn't take cars over there, you see.
Right.
Oh,
When they
wow.
got over there, they wanted to
it was
drive around the island. So
Yeah.
Even though it was a small island.
then we bought a pink Oldsmobile Plymouth station wagon. While we were there, somebody was
perfect.
leaving and to come back, and then we bought it. So we had that while we were there the rest of the time.
Oh.
They did a lot of, I guess, this lawn mowing
Yeah.
on over there.
Yeah, that's right.
They
my-
mowed the whole island.
my
Yeah,
kids
well,
did
the Air Force Base.
Yeah.
They
that. Not
didn't
much
go.
there, but yeah.
And
Well-
they surfed.
Oh yeah, they surfed. They enjoyed that.
John still does.
And he made a box. They had a plastic underneath,
Mhm.
And when the tide was out, or was it when the tide was in, they'd go out and look for shells.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for shells. Well, I could see, you see, down the bottom
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
That's
the
what I used
that plastic box, and if the tide, if it was going to be out, after dark, we'd put a flashlight in there.
We get up 2 o'clock in the morning and go out and look for
Sometimes,
seashells.
if it was going to
2
be,
o'clock
in the morning?
if it
2
was
in the
going to
morning.
Can
be,
you see?
The tide is in. We're going
well, I
out.
say we had a flashlight.
Hundreds.
I know, but I still picture him with a lantern. And,
It's in black and white.
yeah, it's
No,
in
it-
black and white or sepia tone, and they're on a covered wagon.
Yeah.
No.
It was
No,
the
we-
60s.
we
Yeah.
Progressed a little bit from there.
Yeah.
That's good.
At that time. And did your daddy work for the oil company? Your dad
Yeah,
had a job, so
Another
they might have not gotten as much money as they would, but living in the country like we did didn't take us much, and we lived in a company house,
Yeah.
so the rent was free, and so no,
Did it really affect him?
Yeah.
I never heard them talk about it.
So I
either,
married
so-
her because she was independently wealthy.
Right.
She was rich, right?
Right.
Did I fool him?
Yeah, you snagged him. That's funny.
Yeah. But no, we didn't. You always had something to eat, you know, things. So
Yeah.
we didn't.
Didn't really feel that.
No. But my mother, she started. She crochet edges on pillowcases, you know, and she charged like $3, I think.
Wow.
And for a pair.
Yeah.
And she gave
Mom
me money.
used to do, what do they call that, wave set?
Wave people's hair.
Yeah.
Set people's
For
hair.
$3 a head.
Yeah. But
was a
she
school
gave me a
teacher
lot of
also.
extra money when I was a senior in high school that Daddy thought was superfluous, you know. In fact, he didn't even want me to buy a senior ring. He thought that was ridiculous. So she didn't even finish high school. She got married and half a year of her senior year, would you believe she didn't go on and finish? But back then they didn't, when you got married, you know, she was 19, so when you got married you didn't go to school. So, in the school.
Yeah.
Now, see, when it started, I must have been in the 9th grade, and I graduated in 45 when it was over.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think some in not my grade particularly, in 9th grade, because they were a little young, but I remember some of the older ones leaving. They couldn't even have a basketball team. Of course, it was a small school, but they couldn't even have a basketball team because they didn't. Well, and they didn't have the other schools, too, around to play anybody. Just like I say, I graduated in 45, and the war was over. Yeah.
We lived over on 10th Street and moved over here.
We just moved 3 blocks. And that was worse than moving,
Oh.
That's worse than moving
Cross
cross
the
country,
country.
which I'm gonna do.
because we had to, just piggyback stuff over here, small stuff, you know.
Yeah, I had a pickup
And we-
then. Mhm.
Well, and we got somebody to help with the big, at the end with the big stuff, but, and we didn't have near as much we got now.
Right.
Long you live in one place, you collect all these things.
That's
yeah.
the whole idea.
33 years.
We didn't move school districts, moving
Right.
just 3 blocks, so. There you
See,
go.
what I learned
That's
from the
right.
movies,
That's right.
because they're accurate.
Swelled your head right up.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Here we are, 3 months, and we got married. I mean, who would ever predicted that? Her mom and dad said, no, it ain't gonna work. And look at us here, we're 60 years later.
Well, my
So
mother
who can
said you
predict
haven't known him long
when
enough.
you're gonna get married and how and what's gonna happen? Nobody.
Somebody may come along sometime and hit you like that.
Yeah.
And
Read the
But-
paper the other day where a 79-year-old got married to an 81-year-old. So
Wow.
when it comes, there ain't nothing you can do about it.
oh, phooey.
Yeah.